Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. This is David Hyman, your tour guide in Israel. Today we are touring the city of Haifa and especially the first neighborhood of the Jewish city, Hadar Ha Carmel, the glory of the Carmel. So join me on this wonderful tour. Hadar neighborhood is built on a ledge that is halfway up the mountain. So down to the lower part of Haifa is where the port is. The upper ledge is where the hotels are, and the mountain, that's Mount Carmel, and the neighborhood is called Carmel. So the middle section, this ledge right in front of us, this is Hadar neighborhood. Hadar was founded by a group of Jewish entrepreneurs in 1922. Their leader was Shmuel Pevzner. The neighborhood was planned as a garden city where people would live in harmony with nature. The founders of the neighborhood chose the name from Isaiah 35, Hadar Ha Carmel, the splendor of Carmel. Committee of Hadar Ha Carmel, 1925. And this is the emblem, the symbol of the neighborhood Hadar Ha Carmel. The main building is the building of the Technion.
Welcome to Haifa, David.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
You should learn a little bit about the history of Haifa.
That's why I came to you.
Haifa is divided geographically into three levels. It's the downtown, which is close to the sea. It's a mid-city, and then the upper city, which is the Carmel. The port of Haifa was the first one to be established. It was during the 1930s. The British who were here, because of the bay, established the port. The theaters and the movies, there were about 20 movie and cinemas in Haifa along these two streets. The Technion, which was built also during the 20s, was one of the first establishment of universities and higher education. Haifa lost its priority for Tel Aviv as economically during the 60s. And slowly, Hadar is deteriorating.
One of the first buildings of Hadar was the Technion. It took more than 10 years to complete the construction. And a special guest was invited for the inauguration ceremony. This tree was planted by Professor Albert Einstein during his only visit to Israel, 1923. There's the Yofi. Folks, this amazing building, today it's the National Museum of Science, Planning and Technology. But this was built back in the 1920s as the country's first university. The cornerstone was laid in 1912. The building was dedicated in 1925 and housed the Technion's academic activities up until the year 1985. Technion. Next to the Technion, and at the same years of 1913, a very famous school was founded, the Reali School. The goal was to teach in Hebrew and prepare kids for a productive life. So kids, what's this park here? Where are we? Reali?
Yes.
The school's first headmaster, Dr. Biram, chose words from the book of Micha as the school's message and value. Ve'hatzna lechet, walk humbly. This street, Herzl Street, was the main commercial street of Hadar. Everyone would come down here to do their shopping. All the cinemas were here, all the entertainment, restaurants, nightlife, everything was down here on Rehov Herzl. to get a better feel of the city, why don't we go and search for locals and ask them their feelings about the city of Haifa, especially the neighborhood of Hadar.
Haifa is my city that I born in, so I like it. I like the sea. I like to see the sea because you see all the harbor and the ships are coming and going out. My father used to work in the Namal, in the harbor. When I was 5 years old, he took me to the harbor and I was on the boat, you know. It was amazing.
I'm born in Haifa, learned in Usmat High School. It was a professional high school.
I coming from kibbutz, and after this I was in Nahariya, and from Nahariya I come to Haifa. I like this city very much, and when I was in the kibbutz, I know before that this is my place until the death.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to see you and meet you in person, Tzipi. Thank you so much, Tzipi Mo.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. תודה רבה, גברת. תודה רבה.
This is where I live. It's a neighborhood with a lot of kinds of people, a lot of elderly Russian people. There's Arabic, there's Jewish people. It's really a mixture. Here in the market, in Talpiot market, there's also this change of investors that coming and opening new businesses. I moved to Haifa because it's cheaper than any big city in Israel, and that's what I wanted to live alone, and I could afford to live here. And it's a very peaceful city. It's not so tense as Jerusalem. It has a beach. It has a LGBT community. It has good public transportation. I don't know. It's a city. It's alive.
תודה רבה. תודה.
I'm from Krayot, which is nearby, and I used to come to Haifa. So my childhood is basically, here, although I lived many years in Tel Aviv. I think for me it was like the most interesting place in Haifa because of its vibe and people, because you have interesting places like Masada Street and Shuk. There are things happening there, whereas in the rest of Haifa not so much. for young people, especially if you're single, it's an interesting place to be in Haifa.
Everyone I spoke to told me that I must go and check out the market in Hadar neighborhood, Talpiot Market. So let's go walk around. Shuk Talpiot is an active and working market since it was founded in 1940. You can find anything here.
Hi, Shalom. Welcome to Haifa.
Thank you, Anwar. Shukran. Thank you, Anwar. In recent years, things are changing. The market has become a magnet for other businesses, such as cafes, restaurants, and studios. Young people are moving in search for a community where they are free to create, to experiment, and to live freely. I'm super excited to visit Goldmund Bookstore. Join me. Karaoke, stand-up. If you're looking for the fringe or for the chic events, you want to come down here.
This is my place, it's a safe haven for people in Hadar. We have parties and live gigs here, and open until midnight every day. People come, they sit, they use their smartphones, as you can see. Because we need more young people here. It's one of the oldest cities in Israel. My shop was in Masada Street for 11 years. Masada is like the equivalent of Laurentine in Haifa.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was I needed to grow. I needed a bigger space. And this is where I could get it.
Okay, like you're like an anchor of the neighborhood, I think.
I hope so.
It's the best place in Haifa.
I
Well,
hope.
why is it so great here?
Yeah, it feels like home, and it's a place that you can drink coffee in the day and work and read, and in the evening there's shows and concerts and parties here. So it's the best place.
You all live in Hadar?
Me and her, yes. She's a guest, but maybe she will live here.
Yeah, you should. And I really hope that you enjoyed this tour of Haifa, the Hadar neighborhood. So if you did, please give me a big thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel and write a comment. Let me know where you'd like to go on our next tour of wonderful Israel. Bye everyone and take care.